Good morning, you beautiful brave hearts worldwide. Okay, I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf, and I'm here, okay, on Vancouver Island. And this morning I fly to Toronto. Okay, I'm going to Toronto, Ontario. And on Saturday, I'm giving a free lecture called A Day with the Doc at the Monte Carlo, okay, at the Monte Carlo Casino. All right. And it's near the 401. And I think it's near Yorkdale. I haven't ever lectured there before, but if you would like to come, this is a free lecture. It's from 10 until 3 on Saturday. I promise you, I'll bring the thunder down. I'll promise you that I will stroke you, but I will also poke you a little bit. Why? Because guess what? We were programmed to actually poison ourselves and each other. And a lot of people would say, well, that's really a negative thing to say, Daryl. Why would you do that? Well, the reality is guess what? Everybody out there in the health field almost plays Inky Dinky Schnitzel House. And what they do is they stroke everybody and tell them it's going to be okay. And I'm telling you that it's not going to be okay unless you take massive personal action and you understand that you need to love, honor, and protect, respect yourself. If you're interested in coming to this Day with the Doc, it's from 10 until 3. The phone number and the beautiful host of this is Magdalena. Her phone number is 416-669-9351. Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. This is a free, okay, Day with the Doc. And understand something. I also give my manual free, okay? This is called the Ultimate, okay, Healing Guide, the Perfect Day Guide. It's a 550-page download. If you go to pdgfree.com, why do I promote my stuff so hard and keep on pushing it and pushing it? Because I have to repeat myself. Because guess what? People don't do anything unless it's through repetition. And if I don't keep on saying this, they won't do it. And what are you going to pay for this? Absolutely zero. So you can actually download it, take a look at it and go, did he really gift me, or is he trying to pitch me? Is he trying to sell me? What is he really trying to do? Is he after my money, or does he just want my praise? Does he have an ego problem? No. I'm going to go hardcore for another 2 years, and then I'm going to start backing off, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something right now. We are at a tipping point here. Whether you believe it or not, 99% of the population poison themselves and each other, and they call it love. Okay. When people come together and they celebrate, okay, they poison themselves and each other. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. Okay. And by the way, I'm dressed warm because I live in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. That's where our 5-star healing retreat is, where people come from all over the world. And I'll tell you, my blood is thinned out because I do not live in cooler weather like this. Today it's approximately, let me see, 9:36. It's about right now around 50 some degrees here, which is about 9 degrees. And I'm chilled. You know, your blood does thin out when you live in a hot climate. Now, let me get back to it. So the reality is I'm going to keep on putting information out there. And you can say to yourself, well, what's he up to? What's he really up to, this guy? Okay, he's up to something. Oh, yeah, I'm up to something. And, you know, the media and some other systems tell me that I'm a troublemaker. And the reality is yes, whenever you're going to disrupt, okay, the norm, okay, they're going to call you a troublemaker. Now, today I'm going to do something. Jane, I apologize that I'm a day late and $1 short, but I promised Jane yesterday that I would talk about her condition. Now, Jane is 58 years old. Oh, and if I can say this, everyone, if you want to text my phone at 469-861-8884, just give me your first name. I'm not going to give your last name, where you live, or anything like that. And listen to this, what I'm going to do. And then if you want, you can text me just this information, and then I'll give you my opinion. Okay. Now, this is my opinion. We're still allowed to have opinions, aren't we? No, we're not. There's free speech is like under attack everywhere, because the people were starting to rise. Okay. And now the systems, they do despise the people that were trying to help people. And I'm going to continually to help people, because you know what? People are beautiful. People are spirit beings, okay? But the reality is you can program a person to poison themselves and their family without even knowing it, okay? And understand something. They have turned us into fear-mongering, okay? Fear-mongering, okay? Low vibrational, okay, meat suits, all right? Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. Okay. Most people are planning to have fun today because it's Friday. And why can't we have fun all the time? Why can't we stay in the present moment and own it? That's what I do. You know, understand something right now. Don't be threatened by this life. Embrace this life. Find your brave heart. Anyways, this is for you, Jane. Jane is 58 years old. Okay. All right. Jane is 5'6". Now, when you're 5'6", you should weigh, okay, around 120 to 130. Okay, 120 to 130, Jane. Jane weighs 170. So Jane, at the very minimum, has 30 extra pounds. Now, Jane is not overweight, everyone. Jane is overinflamed and overinfected because Jane was programmed to poison herself. Now, the reality is Jane knows that she's not eating right, treating herself right. But the problem is the addictions. How is she going to get rid of the addictions? You can't get rid of the addictions and have them stay away. I mean, most people will go on a diet, and the first three letters are die, D-I-E, okay, when she should be on a live it. My God, if you're doing diets, you're heading down really fast. If you're doing a live it, it's way different. Okay. Understand something when I say this, and I mean this. You can't find one time that I was in the hospital for myself in the last 25, 30 years. I am never going to be in the hospital. Okay. I'm never going to be in the hospital. I might go to visit someone, but I'm not going to be in there because I'm sick. I don't even get a cold or a flu, for God's sakes. And guess what? The flu, it's influence. Okay, I know I'm off track, Jane. I'm coming back. I'm going to talk about influence tomorrow, and that people catch the flu because it's an influence. You can't catch a flu because the flu is actually made out of what? Heavy metals, chemicals, GMOs, and poisons. It can't jump 1 inch. It can't jump 6 inches. It can't jump 6 feet. And the reality is it's so easy to program a human being. And that's the deal. So Jane is 58. Jane weighs 170 pounds. Jane is 5'6". Jane is 30 pounds overweight, over waist. She's 30 pounds over waist and inflammation. Now, the reality is Jane does not know or realize the most simplest thing. 99% of the population has parasites. 99% of the population has parasites because they have a rotting manure pile in their pelvis called their large intestine, which was supposed to be a compost. And a compost, if you put good things in your mouth, it goes into your large intestine and it creates good bacteria, which is your immune system. And guess what? That is your defense system. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. So we're visiting some people, beautiful people, and they said, would you like a muffin? And I said, well, okay. I hardly ever do it. I ate a muffin, and believe it or not, it's supposed to be a healthy one. And guess what? It gave me heartburn. Now, you can say, well, that's because you're too sensitive, Daryl, and you have poor digestion. No, it's because I'm alive. Let me tell you something. People that are alive get sick when they eat things that are too full of sugar and flour. People that eat things and never feel anything anymore are totally numbed out. And the reason why they don't feel anything anymore is because your body's like this. Most of you believe that pain is an enemy, and it's not. It's your best friend. It is your GPS in this lifetime. And the reality is if you eat something, drink something, okay, or do something, okay, that is in a negative, your body's supposed to ring the doorbell. And it'll keep ringing the doorbell. Then it'll start banging on the door. And then it'll try to bang the door down. And that's when you get disease because you're not at ease, because you're not in alignment. And then guess what? You've all been taught, all of you, me too, we've been taught that pain is our enemy and it needs to be killed. Cancer needs to be killed. We need to kill the flu. We need to kill ourselves. Tell me I'm wrong. What about loving yourself well? You know, when I teach my course, whole life health coach course, you know, it's for everyone. It's for the general populace. It's for doctors, nurses. It's for people that want to learn how to become a whole life coach nutritionally, emotionally, or they just want to go home and they want to get their life together. They want to get their family together. They want to live in their power. They want to have a perfect day. They want to feel fearless. That's right. They want to have faith. They want to have courage. Don't want this other BS programmed to poison. Programmed to poison. Now, Jane, you don't eat right. First thing you got to do, Jane, is go through your cupboards in your fridge and we'll get at least 2 to 3 boxes of poison out of there. We got to go into your bathroom, Jane, and get rid of all of those poison materials in your bathroom. Jane, you cannot be 30 pounds overweight and not think that you're not going to have symptoms. If you had no symptoms, you'd be dead. If you don't feel pain or inflammation or have swelling or stiffness when you bring poison into the body, we would all be dead already. We would be gone. Whether you believe this or not, 90 to 95% of the population is rotting out on some level. They're infected, they're inflamed. I have no inflammation in my body. I have no infection in my body. I don't have any swelling in my body. I have very little stiffness. You know, when I'm traveling from city to city and lecturing and flying, you know, I really maintain even a better diet, okay, live it, than people at home. That's right. People go, oh, wow, it's so hard to travel. No, I just do without until I can get to where it's great food. And that's the reality. I love and care for myself enough. And most people call that selfish. You know, if Jane were to totally learn how to love and care for herself, all of this would be gone. Because understand, all the swelling, all the stiffness, all the pain, okay? It's all just the body trying to say, Jane, can't you just love this 50 trillion cells and these 500 trillion bacteria? So Jane has bladder infection. Jane, guess what? You ready for this? Oh, if there's any medical doctor out there or any scientist or any other natural health practitioner that wants to challenge me, just call me at 469-861-8884. I don't mind being challenged. I'm being challenged all the time. Okay? I'm being challenged because guess what? Not even 1% of the population wants to hear what I've got to say. And it's true. And I know that. And I know this, that the majority says they rule. Okay. No, the majority are ruled. Seriously. If the majority of the population has an autoimmune disease, it means that they're attacking themselves on an emotional and physical level. Yes or no? Just help me out here. Okay. And that's the majority of the population. The majority of the population has symptoms. I don't have any symptoms. The people that come to me who read my perfect day guide, go to pdgfree.com, read my guide, and tell me that you take massive personal action, and tell me that within 6 weeks to 3 months, you feel like you're dying, you're crying, you're justifying why you're sick. And understand something, you know what's really sick? All the systems out there are sick. Okay. If the natural health industry was so powerful and so good, meanwhile, there's like, 10 times more natural health practitioners than there is medical practitioners now. And we're only getting sicker because guess what? I know some of you think, who in the heck is this guy? Is he angry? No, I'm not angry. I'm trying to take a stand for you. I'm trying to tell you that I will stand for you until you stand for you. You need to have an understanding that you are beautiful. You have to have an understanding that guess what? You have to break away from your family. You have to break away from your friends. You have to break away from the herd. You have to make high vibrational choices. You need to, before you put anything in your mouth, ask yourself, is this high vibrational? Is this going to feed me or is this going to poison me? Is this going to make me feel like crap? I need to shut my yap. That's right. So anyways, Jane's got bladder infections, and that's only because, guess what? Jane has putrefaction. She has rotting in her bowel. And guess how long that's been happening? Well, before she was even out of her mother's womb. Oh, you think I'm kidding? How many mothers are pregnant? I mean, how many pregnant mothers, okay? How many pregnant women, okay, aren't constipated? 5%, maybe. So understand something. The baby is the end result of the mother. And if the mother's constipated, the baby becomes constipated before it even gets out of the womb. And then when the baby does come out of the womb, guess what? Look what we feed children. For God's sakes, look at the poison in the houses. I mean, think about it. They call adults adulterated for a reason, because they are. My God, when are we going to start thinking? Okay, when are we going to have critical thinking, logical thinking? So anyways, just know this, Jane. Your bowel's rotting. Your bottle's rotting out. And it's like a screen door in a submarine. And that's because, guess what? Whether you want to believe this or not, everyone, antibiotics and glyphosate. Okay, so what most people say, oh my God, you know, you're going to have people talking about how vaccines cause autism. Well, that's the God's truth. And people know that. Hey, have you ever noticed that 8 billion people can't come up against a couple 100,000 people? Okay, that the 1% that are ruling the world, that hold all the money strings, because it's so easy to buy off a human being to poison another one. We're programmed to poison. Anyways, so the reality is that the majority of the population has a screen door. Okay, all right, okay, it's like a screen door. And that's because they have leaky gut. And you don't have leaky gut. You have leaky large intestine, for God's sakes. All you practitioners, wake up. Stop telling people that they have leaky gut when they have leaky large intestine. That's the truth. Leaky large intestine. And the large intestine is the Holy Grail. Jane, the large intestine is the Holy Grail. It's 85% of your immune system. And the reality is, Jane, if you don't stop putting garbage in your mouth, then you're going to continually have a manure pile, okay, sitting right around your pubic bone in your pelvis, which is called the pelvic bowl. And you're filling it up with what? Putrefaction, bad bacteria, fungus, worms, and they're all living there. Okay, that's what lives in a manure pile, everybody. So you got to get this. Oh my God, Dr. Wolf, you're not very nice. Well, because it's not very nice out there, is it? You know, whether you believe this or not, we're all talking about the wars going on, right? The bankers' wars. Well, what about the war going on inside of our own bodies, because of the war going on inside of our heads, because we were programmed to poison ourselves? The reality is this: glyphosate, antibiotics. Glyphosate, antibiotics. Well, you're going to get antibiotics in any animal products, okay, that were factory farmed, that weren't just by the farmer. Okay. And glyphosate, it's everywhere. Okay. Most glyphosate was actually sprayed in the backyards. Okay. Where the guys had, you know, the 2-gun kid, and they had the thing on their back, and they're out there spraying all the weeds. Okay. But understand something, glyphosate is everywhere because it's called Roundup. And whether you believe it or not, glyphosate it causes leaky gut, and it causes leaky brain. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The Doc of Detox is going to be releasing in about 2 months. We'll be releasing the most studied and the most scientifically backed brain product that has been shown to reverse Alzheimer's. Okay, this isn't me making cure promises. I'm telling you that this is true, that this product has been able to show reversal in Alzheimer's, dementia. It's been very effective with Parkinson's, and it's called the Perfect Brain. So watch out for that. And I'm going to be bringing out the best products. Not going to bring out something average. I'm only going to bring out the best products. And we're going to sell them for the best prices too. If you haven't noticed, we have a sale like on every week, and the sale can be up to 50% off. So you do the math and ask yourself how much we're keeping for profit. Let me tell you something. Braveheart Nation, Doc of Detox is for the people, and it always will be for the people. And when it cannot be for the people, I will shut the business down. So you have a bladder infection, love, because you're reabsorbing the waste into your pelvic girdle. And the pelvic bowl is filling up with poo particles, fungus, parasites, okay? And I kid you not. I kid you not. Now, what happens is that most people don't realize where their bladder is. It sits right in front of the last 4 inches of the large intestine. And where do you get most stagnation of fecal matter? oh, there's just a little bit more that could come out, but it can't because it's too dry, because of your sticky, glicky diet, because you don't drink enough structured water. I said structured water. Take a look at our structured water units. I mean, it's worth its weight in gold. You hydrate. Remember something, it's all about hydration. And you hydrate up to 1,000% more than just any other water. And it neutralizes EMF in the body, which is a good thing with all the 5G and the blue light that we get now hit with. So anyways, the bladder infection, that's where it comes from. So unless you're going to repair, love, you're going to repair your large intestine, just get ready to keep on having bladder infections where it feels like something's in there eating you away. And the eating you away is actually the bacteria problem. And guess what? Most of the time it's E. coli. Now, when they tell you that you've got E. coli in your bladder, look up where E. coli comes from. E. coli comes from your large intestine. And it actually came through the screen door, right? The screen door, the little holes, which is called leaky gut, but it's not leaky gut, it's leaky large intestine. I repeat myself because that's how they do it. They repeat themselves over and over again, that you'll go and buy a drug that can actually threaten your life, but because it comes at you so often, okay, you're programmed, just like robots. All right. So what else is going on here? She's got kidney stones. Well, listen, darling, the bladder comes after the kidneys, right? And the kidney stones are made out of calcium. So they should say not kidney stones, because most people don't even think about it. They don't think. Critical thinking is what we need right now. And that's why, okay, the majority of the population is leaving early. They're going to be leaving the planet early because we were programmed to poison. Now, the stones are made out of calcium. Calcium is very alkalining. Calcium is the main alkalining product in the human body. Look at I got osteopenia. I got osteoporosis. I got osteoarthritis. I mean, guys, you only have this because you had to pull the calcium, because you had to buffer, okay, your pH, because you were too acidic. Does everybody understand that if you're too acidic, you eat up the oxygen? Does everybody understand that if you eat up the oxygen because you're too acidic, which causes inflammation, that's inflammation. That's the only disease. There are no other diseases. There are no other diseases on the planet, everybody. It's just inflammation nation, all the way to mutation. And the reality is, if you get inflamed and you are at first degree, second degree, third degree inflammation, you are burning up the oxygen. And once you burn up 35% of the oxygen in a cell, thank you very much, guess what happens? The cell has to mutate, because now it can live off the lactic acid and the sugars, okay? And now it becomes what they call a cancer cell, because it didn't want to die. It wanted to survive. So how do you get it to go back? You can reverse the irreversible. So we don't call it cancer. We call it stage 4 inflammation, because we know we can deal with that. So understand something. You know what? I'm going to talk about the flu. Not today. Talk about it tomorrow, because a lot of people are getting it right now because it's a change of season, and you're only going to get the flu if you're toxic. Because you need to cleanse out heavy metals and poisons, because it's not alive. And the flu is influence. Where do you think it all comes from? It's always hidden in the words. If you just understand these psychos, okay, that rule the government and all these systems, the deal is that they have to show us what they're going to do to us. Influence, the flu. The flu is caught by other people by epigenetics, not genetics. Or you can't catch a flu because it can't jump. It's not alive. And understand something. But when we have a change of season is when most people get the flu, or right after the burnout of New Year's, because we had, let me think. Well, first we had a sugar holiday called Halloween. And then we had a Thanksgiving holiday, which is called gluttony, overeating. Okay. And then what do we have? Then we had Christmas. So it doesn't end. We keep on overeating, and we keep on drinking, and we keep on pumping the sugar and the flour and the dairy. And then guess what? And then we have an alcoholic holiday called New Year's. And then we have the flu. And it's just your body needing to get rid of whatever poisons you put in there, because you know what? It's not a bacterial problem. It's called the flu. And that's heavy metals and that's chemicals and that's poisons. And if you looked up the word virus, you would know that a virus, okay, in Greek just means poisoned. We're programmed to poison. Are you with me? So anyways, so now she's got kidney stones, and that's the calcium being pulled. Where's it being pulled from? Gotta love this. It's being pulled from her hips, and it's being pulled from her spine, and it's being pulled from her ribs. And that's why people are fracturing. Oh my God. You know, there are young kids that are getting fractures now because of what? Count Chocula? Because of what? Toxic popsicles, Kool-Aid, okay, cookies, ice cream. If you're good, mommy's going to poison you, right? Isn't that what a treat is? It's a mistreat. Now look at. So now she's got kidney stones. So she's been pulling the calcium from her bones. And guess what? Well, where do you think these rocks are going to go if the kidneys are on fire? Now, remember something. A lot of people that have kidney stones, they're also caused because of the adrenals. What are you talking about, Daryl? Well, the adrenals sit on top of the kidneys like a cap. And the more that you fear, the more that you stress, the more anxiety you have, you keep tapping on your adrenals to put adrenaline into your body, which is fairly highly acidic. So if you don't put the adrenaline in to go for a run, but you stand there, then guess what? The adrenaline is going to burn you up. And if it's going to burn you up, then you better be pulling calcium from your bones to buffer that down. Are you with me yet? Are you with me? Because guess what? Oh my God, I think I got kidney problems. Oh, I got kidney problems. Well, for one thing, did you ever take a look? Did you ever look at your core? It's hanging out on the floor. I mean, if you don't look like you're 3 to 9 months pregnant, if, a lot of people have their large intestine falling down and out. What do you think's hanging down over the belt? Understand something, how you pick your groceries up, how you pick your grandchildren up, how you get off the toilet, how you make love. All of that is with the core. It's not with your back. Your back is not supposed to do any of that. But most people, by the time they reach 30 or 40 years old, they got no core. It's on the floor. And that's because the core on the floor is the rotting out of the large intestine. Thank you very much. And I'm willing to have anybody come on and challenge me. I would love it. You know, let's not just say Daryl's crazy. Let's not say Daryl is a fraud. Let's challenge him. Let's challenge him. You know what? If I'm so wrong and they're so right, then why is everybody in so much trouble? Just know I love you. Just know you need to love and care for yourself. So now you got these calcium stones, Jane, and they're in your kidneys. So how do you stop that? Well, you got to cut back the sugar. You got to cut back the dairy. You got to cut back the processed food, and you got to cut back the animal products. Yes, that's the truth. So the reality is, you know what? Why aren't people getting a perfect day consult from us for $150 with a money back guarantee? You got a money back guarantee for a week after we do it. 1 week. You don't need more than that. You know if we did a great job. And if you don't want to do that, then get my perfect day guide, pdgfree.com. Never give me a penny. If you read the guide, you don't have to buy anything from me, and you're going to get more health information, the truth, than a naturopath gets when they go to 4 years of school. Oh, now you better watch it, Daryl. You got a big mouth. Oh, I do I? Why don't you read the book? Or any naturopathic doctor out there, read my perfect day guide and tell me that you got all that information and it was put that easy, that simple. And go ahead. Take the book, make it yours, rewrite it, make it into your own, everybody. All my information, all my videos. I have the largest masterclass health library on the planet at docofdetox.com, okay? And all of that is free. Everything I have is free. Just take it. Take it, make it your own, practitioners, and ride like the wind. Or you health practitioners, if you want, get in touch with me and come on my Monday night Q&A calls. You don't have to take my courses. If you want to come on, you can challenge me right there. Okay, challenge me with the other practitioners. All right, let's get down to it, toe to toe here. You know what this is? You actually think that the medical system has anything to do with healthcare? Understand something. We should all be rallying together. Every one of us health practitioners, rallying together. And this is why I've created Braveheart Nation. I'm coming out with an app called BHN. Okay, the Braveheart Nation app, and that will be coming out on August the 8th, and that is the most powerful gift I can give to the planet, okay? All right? So anyway, so now the kidney stones, we'll understand something. She's got to stop pulling the calcium from her bones because that's osteopenia, osteoarthritis. And like I said, everybody's fracturing. You'll never hear of me having a fracture. You only have a fracture because your bones are becoming like Swiss cheese because you live like everybody else and you do like everybody else. And guess what? As long as you, Jane, want to play Inky Dinky Schnitzel House and you want to just do a little bit of this or a little bit of that, and it's not your fault, Jane. If you never get yourself well and you stay in this hell, it's not your fault. You programmed like everybody else. And as soon as, Jane, that you were to do massive personal action and start helping yourself, your friends, your family are going to say, what are you, a health nut? Whoa, are you ever selfish? Why don't you call us anymore? Because I'm busy trying to get well. Oh, really? 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 Okay. Everybody's always rooting for you until you start to really rise, don't they? And then they don't mean to do it, but subconsciously they pull you right back down. Jane also has water on her spleen. The reason why Jane has water on her spleen is, guess what? When there's a fire, we're going to call a fire truck. So the reality, Jane, if you don't have water on your spleen, then you're going to have stage 3 or 4 inflammation or even stage 5 inflammation, and that would be really bad. So the only way that we can make sure that we're going to get the water off the spleen is we got to reduce the inflammation. Okay. The only way that we're going to reduce the calcium from being pulled on the bones, we have to reduce the inflammation. Are you with me yet? Okay. And let's see what else we got here. And the only way that we're going to reduce the inflammation is we're going to have to reduce the infection. Oh, wait a minute. The only way that we're going to reduce the infection is that we're going to have to increase the detoxification properly and open up all the portals so they start detoxifying properly. And we're going to have to get rid of Jane's addictions. And we're going to have to get Jane on a high vibrational diet. It's all about vibration. Frequency can turn cancer on, can turn cancer off. Frequency can turn you on, it can turn you off. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay? The reality is it's like this. If the majority of practitioners spoke like I spoke, then you wouldn't have a chokehold, would you? But when we have someone coming out like a unicorn and speaking differently, let me tell you something. Let me say this. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it right. And just because I just said it, it's the first time you heard it, doesn't make it wrong. And the reality is this. You want to get in the lineup that everybody else is in, or do you want to run and find out where that guy just ran off through into the bush? And it wasn't to take a crap, okay? It was because he knows something that the rest of them don't. Do not be the herd. Do not be the majority, because 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease. Isn't that something, okay? So the war is internal. The war is in the mind, okay? It's a landmine. If you were to get on the pathway of the heart, you'd make high vibrational choices right away. That's the deal. So just remember, I will be coming on live and I will be doing a day with the doc. I will be on platforms such as Facebook. I will be on also YouTube. I will be on Telegram. I will be on TikTok and I will be on Instagram. And that will be Saturday, Eastern Standard Time in Toronto at the Monte Carlo Casino Hotel. If you want to come live, we have a few seats left, but you'll need to call Magdalena at 416-669-9351. I'll also be coming to do my course. I'll be doing a course in Stuart, Florida, whole life health coach course. This is for everyone. Everyone that's alive, if you came to take this course, it's 9 days. 9 days, and I promise you, you will bring the thunder down for yourself. But when you take this course, you will go home and you will stay quiet. And what you'll do is you'll recycle your energy into yourself. Your family will see the changes, how you love your life more. You're in the present moment. You own it, that you're making healthier choices. And then give your family at least 9 months before you open your mouth. Okay. And it's very, very important because we have been programmed for 250,000 years, okay, to poison ourselves. Thank you very much. And this is called the harvest. And guess what? Don't be comfortable. Don't be comfortable with all the disease. Don't be comfortable with all of the premature dying. Don't be comfortable with the wars in your house or the wars in your head. Don't be comfortable with the wars in the world, and understand something. The wars in the world are never going to stop, because this is planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure for those people who learn how to love and care for themselves first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. And do I believe in God Almighty? Yes, I do. Do I believe in the God that most people believe in? Absolutely not. Do I believe that there's any book on this planet that wasn't tainted or written by the psychos? I believe they all were written by them. Okay. And the books that people read that they follow and they go, oh my God. Well, I'll just tell you right now, oh my God, you better learn how to love, honor, and respect yourself, because you can't do it for another. You can't give what you're not. And you might believe that's not true. And most people do not love, honor, and respect themselves. And most people believe that if they did, it's some kind of crime or sin. And understand something. You're going to get done in. We'll see. You might think I'm a smart ass, okay? But I'm not. I have love for everybody on this planet, okay? All right? Do I want to hang around with everybody on this planet? No, because I'm going to protect my vibration. You came in as a vibrational being. You entered into the womb of your mother. And guess what? You did not know English, but you knew vibration. And I'm telling you, you picked it up. And whether you believe this or not, okay, from 0 to 7, your personality was created. And if you don't want to take something like my whole life health coach 9-day program, guess what? You might turn the burner down a teeny bit and bring the fire down, but you will never, ever experience the joy that you could. You'll never be able to bring yourself into alignment within 30 seconds. Most of you, you get pissed off mainly by your family and your friends and the things that you can't change in the world that are never going to change. And who needs this to change? This is the beauty. Look at this place. Look at how gorgeous this is. So there's people that are focusing on the beauty of nature. Okay. The beauty of the love of that which created the universe, the beauty in their heart, walking the path of the heart. And then there's people that are in there right now watching the news and getting a bullshit story. Okay. So that they can go and just vomit on their friends and their family. And guess what? This is all made up for you. There's an entity that will rule this planet for eternity. Oh, I know people believe that something's going to come, some savior's going to come. And if that's true, I'm in. I'll take a few of them. But until they come, is it okay if I save myself? Is it okay if I stand in my own power? Is it okay if I know the game and that the game is every system is poisoned? And is it okay that 99% of the population are programmed to poison themselves, but I love them anyways? And whether they like me, whether they love me, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you what really matters. I humble myself down in front of only one thing, and that is that which created the universe. And if you ask me if I know what that is, there's times in my life where I would tell you, yes, I do. And right now, I know I don't. And the reality is I know planet Earth is never going to change. Nobody's coming down here to save me. I'm going to save myself, and I'm going to look after myself and care for myself. And then I'm going to really give it a shot and tell people, guess what? We have to love, honor, and respect ourselves. Go take a look at my Braveheart 12 loving steps and learn the Braveheart oath, okay? Or get yourself a band and go 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, that's the old me. No, I won't drink that. No, I won't eat that. No, I won't speak that. No, I won't watch that. Yes, I'm going to say yes to everything beautiful about me. Yes, I'm going to say no from now on and not compromise myself because I take it personal or I need someone's approval. I need nobody's approval. And I don't need you to approve of me. But I know one thing. I need to love with all my heart everything about this place. Okay? And guess what? War's not leaving. It never will leave this planet. And you can say, you're going to be wrong, Daryl. Well, guess what? Don't get too caught up in that. Just because I believe the war's not leaving, and I'll tell you why. I'm not looking for peace. I'm looking for alignment. I'm looking to be in the present moment within 15 seconds. I will not be out of the present moment for more than 15 seconds. I will not suffer for more than 15 seconds for anyone or anything, because guess what? That will be a waste of my energy. I'd rather be there for them when they say, will you help me? And I will say, yes, I will. You have the best day of your life. You may think I'm phony. You may think I'm a fraud. But I love you anyway. Have a beautiful day.